Okay, well, I'll introduce, and I think it's pretty interesting that Seamus said that comment because I made a typo in the title for our theme today, which is I wrote auspicious sings instead of auspicious signs. So we won't.
Sorry, I'm not going to be singing. If you came here to hear me sing, sorry.
Yeah, we won't be singing. We'll just be miming. Yeah.
That's false advertising.
Yeah. Well, yes, indeed, that was a typo. And our session today is not about the choir of auspiciousness, but about auspicious signs. And yes, I was curious about auspicious signs and how to know what an auspicious sign is, or whether we're sort of fabricating it in our minds, and how Buddhism thinks and relates to auspicious signs, and it certainly does. And it has a deep relationship to auspiciousness, which is technically defined as indicators of a positive or a kind of hopeful outcome of sorts, if something is auspicious. It's inherently positive. It's not a negative auspiciousness. That would be something else. I'm not sure what that is, but for looming or something bad. And Phuntsok brought it to my attention that indeed, in a lot of places, in a lot of prayer flags, and at the end of a lot of prayers, the Buddhists write, and I'll probably say this wrong, but Sarva Mangalam, which really means may there be auspiciousness in all of its forms, or maybe there a plentitude of auspiciousness. And so I'll turn it over to Phuntsok. And just to say, for all those that are watching this on YouTube, these teachings come from Phuntsok, who has been a Buddhist practitioner and monk for over 2 decades, and now as a lay practitioner teaches out of his home in Brooklyn. We used to sit all together for many years, and then since COVID, it's been online. And there are ways we can donate and support Phuntsok in his teachings through Venmo, through PayPal, through Patreon. And I'll put those in the chat and also on the YouTube channel down below in the comments section. And also, just to let you know, after the teaching, we kind of do a meditation sandwich, which is beautiful. And then there is some discussion at points towards the end. And just for the anonymity of everybody, we don't include those discussions on the YouTube channel, just for people's confidentiality. And so if you do want to be a part of those and you are watching this on YouTube, please join us live, and you can contribute to the discussions. Okay, so I'm going to pass it over to Phuntsok. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Nizam. So the theme for today is, I have to say, is one of my favorite themes, because they are mentioned a lot, but there aren't that many in-depth discussions of them, almost as if you're supposed to understand, you're supposed to know what they are already. But there are discussions about how to set the conditions for auspiciousness and synchronicity. But exactly what they are, their nature, they don't not talk about much about. But so because of that, I think we will have a lot of discussions and questions concerning that. Nizam mentioned auspicious signs. There are also auspicious conditions, you could say. So we'll talk a little bit about that. But before we get to me talking a lot, we're going to do a little meditation. Well, I always say a little meditation, it ends up being an hour. Don't worry, it's not going to be an hour meditation. Don't get scared. All right, just gonna do a little meditation just to prepare ourselves, to set our motivations so that we make the best use of this time that we are here together. So first, set a clear intention. I'm going to meditate, and allow the understanding that you have of meditation. Let them come. Let them fill your entire being. And as you hold on to this intention to meditate, and the reason why you want to meditate, pay attention to the intelligence in the body. Allow it to guide you. How should you position the body? Let the intelligence in the body guide you for that. And once you feel you've made the conscious, as much immediate conscious effort to put the body in a conducive posture for meditation, then gently scan the posture, making a deeper connection with that intelligence and being open to the suggestions that may come. As you scan the legs, be aware of the signs probably that are already arising, that indeed the body is prepared to enter meditation, the calm, the pleasantness. And once you are done with the leg and you feel a bit done with the legs and you feel a bit confident with the posture of the legs, then move your attention to your torso and make whatever adjustments you need to make, and stay connected to that intelligence. Allow that intelligence to guide you. Notice the signs beginning to arise in the body, in the torso, the calm, the pleasantness. Welcome them, rejoice. Be aware also of the arms, from the shoulders all the way to the tip of the fingers, making sure your arms are conducive in their posture for meditation. And place the hands in such a way that whenever your mind goes to your hands, immediately the posture of the hands reminds you that you're meditating. And once you feel confident with the comfort and stability, the posture of the arms from the shoulders to the fingers, then make sure the head and neck are centered. When the head and neck centered, also you feel the sense of calm, pleasantness. Welcome them. Then the muscles of the face, the mouth, teeth, tongue, resting in their natural places. And rest your eyes in whatever way helps you to connect, to access meditative state. Closed, slightly open, halfway open, fully open, whatever helps you. Now you have another general sense of the body. This time, there's a stronger sense of the signs that meditation is arising. Not an overwhelming sign. That's not what we are necessarily looking for, but rather any measure of the signs of calm throughout the body, any measure of pleasantness. Then gently bring your attention to the breath, which is the bridge from the gross to the subtle, from the manifest to the potential. And as you are maintaining awareness of the breath, you are not controlling the breath. You are aware of, I am breathing in as you're breathing in, you're breathing out as you are breathing out. And continue to be aware of the signs that you are indeed entering the meditative state. Notice the signs arising in the breath, the calm, the pleasantness. Welcome them. And perhaps you are also aware of the signs are beginning to arise in the mind. So you would stay like this until there is an awareness of a slight shift in the breath, in how the breath is behaving. Then that is the sign to make that full commitment to enter meditation. So If we were on the bridge, now we are about to step off of the bridge fully into the meditative state. And to strengthen that commitment, we can take a nice conscious deep breath. And as you release the breath, let yourself go, let yourself go, let yourself go in the body, let yourself go in the breath, let yourself go in the mind, letting go, allowing the sense of calm to get stronger and more, allowing the sense of pleasantness to enhance. And at the end of that exhalation, try to stay in that measure of calm and pleasantness while you allow the breath to return in its own rhythm. And take a moment to notice that the calm is calmer, the pleasant is more pleasant, and there may be other signs that are unique to you that tells you you're indeed in some measure in the meditative state. Especially look for the signs pointing to clarity and radiance, and which are, by the way, as you know, it's these inner sensations that appear on their own. Some people see light, some people see colors, some people see different shapes, some people feel some sort of tactile sensation. Some people hear a sound, an inner sound, whatever it is for you, rejoice. That is your sign of clarity and radiance beginning. Now that all the signs are there, stabilize them with another deep breath, staying connected to the signs, gently breathe in. And as you breathe out, let yourself go, let yourself go, let yourself go. As you breathe out, let yourself go deeper into the signs. And at the end of that exhalation, try to stay in the sign while you allow the breath to return in its own rhythm. Notice the sound is louder or sharper, the colors are brighter or crispier, the sensations are stronger, whatever it is for you. So that tells you that you are indeed deeper, and you are right now in a more subtle consciousness, a much more powerful consciousness. Then within that, gently bring your attention to the space in front of you at the level of your eyebrows. Be aware of the sensation that arises in the forehead. As you are aware of that sensation, immediately ascribe to that sensation the presence of your ideal, taking some sort of form to communicate with you, either an abstract, bright form or the form of the one who embodies those qualities that you find ideal, shining in front of you in its presence. To the embodiment of those qualities that you find ideal, that you aspire to, which you are convinced that you have the potential to manifest also, have a deep sense of respect. Have a deep sense of trust. And as you express your deep sense of trust, let yourself go deeper into the signs of calm, pleasantness, clarity, radiance, focus. And remembering those times when there was a taste of the miraculous, when something wonderful came to your life, and you know it's connected to that ideal. So towards those and towards those that will be in the future, that you know definitely because you're making that conscious connection, express a deep sense of gratitude. And bring that presence and that sensation that you feel at the forehead, bring it to the crown of your head. And let that bright presence shine and radiate, shower you with its light. And as it does so, let it feel and see whatever obstacles you have are being removed. Whatever you need, you're being filled with. Feeling ready, knowing you're doing this not just for yourself, but for those you come in contact with, to have a positive influence, positive effect. And bring that bright presence that is now at the crown of your head. See it, feel it descending through the crown of your head, and finally coming to rest in the very center of your heart and radiating its presence in your mind and in your being. Right, get ready to come out of the meditation with that intention to come out. Take a nice deep breath. And as you breathe out, let yourself reconnect with your immediate surroundings, deliberately being aware of the different sounds, the different sensations, the different sights, colors, shapes, and come. All right. Some of you may have thought perhaps that, especially if you're already familiar with Buddhism, and especially if you go to Tibetan temples, you see these different kinds of signs that are considered to be the auspicious signs, the auspicious symbols. And there are supposed to be like 8 of them, or you could say 8 that are known. These auspicious signs, or these not signs, but rather auspicious symbols, are not auspicious signs in a sense of while you're walking down the street and then, oh, I end this knot. I've got an auspicious sign. Or you're walking down the street and you see 2 fishes, 2 goldfish, or a parasol, an umbrella, things like that. Okay, so they're not auspicious signs in that sense. These are auspicious symbols in the sense of these symbols represent something within a culture, and by placing these symbols in various places, they're supposed to attract auspiciousness. Okay. And this is not necessarily, since, and we were talking about auspiciousness, and a lot of you have I probably have seen these already. So this is not going to be exactly about that. It's not a discourse on the 8 auspicious symbols and what do they mean. I mean, I probably will touch upon them as I present, as I continue to present the talk, but more in the sense of auspicious signs in your life. Like you probably have heard or read about where something happens and then somewhere someone says, "Oh, that's an auspicious sign. That's auspicious. That is auspicious." And also connected to this topic is the topic of synchronicity, not serendipity. That's something else. Synchronicity. And these two topics are really wonderful topics in terms of when you're a practitioner. By practitioner, meaning you are deliberately, consciously doing what you can to evolve yourself spiritually. Okay, that's what a practitioner is. And part of your practice could be simply right now you are at the stage of studying. Okay, that's also a practitioner. You're studying and you're very interested in what you're studying and interested in the application of what you're studying. You're not only interested in it just for intellectual curiosity. There is something happening in your life, and then you want to address these things that are happening in your life. You want to understand them, and that's why you're doing the study. Okay, so that makes you a practitioner. And eventually, once in a while, you start to implement one of these things that you're studying, or some of the understanding that you have in how you're relating with others. And as you're doing that, then there comes times without you even necessarily looking for it. Something happens in your life. You encounter someone, you encounter something where it's a portent, you could say. I've been wanting to use that word for such a long time. Thank you. It's a portent to what usually auspicious signs divinations, in the sense that they are pointing to something that is coming, something that is beneficial to you. Okay. And they are also connected to your practice in the sense that it's like a good job. You're doing a good job. See, these are the signs that tells you that you're doing a good job. It's auspicious. So the events that you're witnessing, the experience that you're having is telling you that something good is coming and is connected to your practice. Okay, that makes it auspicious. The part about synchronicity is we use that term a lot. I mean, by a lot, I mean like every one of you here, you're always talking about saying that word, but it is a term that we use more than, you know, it's a special word that we find ourselves using a lot. And we may have our own sort of unique understanding of what is synchronicity, right? I think as far as in the modern term of using that term synchronicity, I don't think it has, if it was something that was used prior to, I don't know, the 18th century or something like that, I don't think it, the way we are using it now, it has the same meaning. Synchronicity is almost like a chance happening, but it is, we consider to be, or consider to be a chance happening that is meaningful to the person that is who is experiencing it, right? That's what we consider to be a synchronicity. But the synchronicity that I want to point to are specifically connected to to your practice. What I'm referring to as synchronicity is an alignment that takes place as you are practicing. there's an alignment that takes place. Your being becomes gets more and more in alignment with the nature of reality. In the sense of, because of your practice, because of your alignment with the true nature of reality, you no longer have instinct to relate to reality from a place of ignorance. Or should I say, the instinct to relate to reality from a place of ignorance is diminishing. And you're relating, because you're relating more in alignment with the true nature of reality. And because of that, then your instincts are more wise, comes more from a place of wisdom. Okay. And as a result of that, your world begins to shift a little bit, or should I say, what appears in your world begins to reflect this inner transformation that is taking place. And I'm not necessarily talking about eventually you will find that the same earth that we are living on has now become some sort of paradise. There's no more war, no more wars are going on, no more cyber scams are going on. Not in that sense, but more in a sense of things are added. Not that these things are being removed and they're being replaced by, all of a sudden there's no more climate. There's no more climate disaster on the looming anymore. Not in that sense. Not that these things are being replaced, but rather more favorable things are appearing. That's what I'm referring to as synchronicity. Okay, like a synchronicity would be just like you have a wish to fulfill something, and not just a thought, and it's a strong wish, or like you really want this thing to happen. Experiencing synchronicity in this case would be that without necessarily doing something directly to make that wish happen, you find yourself having those things, the necessary conditions, the necessary resources. You find them being presented to you. They find them at arm's reach, you could say. They appear in your world. So that's what I'm referring to as synchronicity. Or another aspect of synchronicity, for example, let's say you're doing a particular practice, like a sadhana, right? You're doing a sadhana, and then this is something that you do every day for many months. And there's something that you're visualizing in that sadhana. And at certain points in your life, after certain points in your life, you start to see like the billboard is saying those things connected to the practice that you're doing, or you see a certain diagram or certain design, which is something that you've been visualizing appearing in the world. So that's the synchronicity that I'm referring to, and the practical application of the synchronicity is to point into you like, okay, you're in the right track. Just continue to do what you're doing. Okay. And just like when you become a bodhisattva, an actual bodhisattva, not someone who wants to be a bodhisattva, an actual bodhisattva. What is an actual bodhisattva? Someone who achieves actual bodhicitta with a mind that is simultaneous, or after having achieved shamatha, okay, calm abiding, that definite state. When you achieve, when you have love and compassion in your heart and a determination to be fully awakened out of that compassion, out of that love. And while you're experiencing this love and this compassion and this determination, your mind is in an extremely one-pointed state of mind where you're experiencing bliss. At that moment, you become what I'm referring to as an actual bodhisattva. But when you have the aspiration to achieve that, you're getting closer and closer to having that experience. You are what my teacher called a bodhisattva in name. Okay, eventually, a bodhisattva in name is definitely much better than a bodhisattva, somebody who's not a bodhisattva at all, who doesn't even have the aspiration. Okay, so as a bodhisattva in name, you will slowly get to that state, and then synchronicity will start to take place, where you will find yourself out of the blue encountering the things that you need to fulfill your wishes. Okay. Now, when you become an actual bodhisattva, this synchronicity happens in much more powerful and much more immediate, in a much more immediate way. You could say reality itself aligns itself with your wishes, because your heart is in alignment with the true nature of reality. Your heart is in alignment with the desire, the determination to be of compassionate and loving service to all. And because of that, it's almost as if the universe was a personality, and the universe, that's what it wants. It wants everyone to be happy. It wants all difficulties to be removed. And you're saying, I want to participate in your aim. And then now the universe says, okay, now you can have all my resources at your disposal. Your wishes will become one with me, so that as soon as you wish for something, you will have it. Okay, that's what I'm pointing to by synchronicity. And this is something that you can actually develop. And how you do develop it? It is mainly developed through commitments. When you make a commitment and you keep the commitment, and you keep the commitment with sincerity. There are times when you may not be able to keep the commitment to the letter, but the spirit is still there with you. So that's in a sense, you're still keeping the commitment to some degree, but it's a commitment that is in alignment with the nature of reality. It's a commitment that is in alignment with fulfilling the aspirations of love, the aspirations of compassion. When you have such a commitment and you're keeping it, and it could be anything. I pour water in front of my door every morning with that state of mind. And that's a commitment that I do, because I'm somehow you connect that with somehow it somehow will benefit others or the world, the planet in some beneficial way. Okay. And you keep that commitment. You make it, you keep it. And by keeping it, you will find yourself experiencing synchronicity. That is, the best way to put it, you find that the reality is in alignment with what you wish for. Okay, it doesn't mean that every single wish you have, all of a sudden they will be fulfilled, but you will find some, especially if it's a deep wish that you have, and others, and you have it because you want others to gain some benefit from it. These are the kind of wishes that you will begin to see happen. And the way this begins to happen, the synchronicity that begins to happen, is like, for example, like I mentioned, let's say, for example, you make a commitment to, in a very loving way, compassionate way, to offer water. Okay. You will find you will find yourself or encountering clear things, clarity, or you will find yourself encountering things dealing with water, for example, clean water, or all of a sudden somebody comes to you and then and says something like, oh, I have a water project or something that I would like to initiate in that place where people don't have water, and then you find yourself able to participate in that. So that would be like what I'm referring to as synchronicity. Okay. Now, synchronicity has a relationship with auspiciousness. Okay. There's a sutra that is actually called the Great Auspiciousness Sutra. And in this sutra, the Buddha is not necessarily describing what we refer to, what I just refer to as the auspicious symbols, but rather he's talking about what is an auspicious, rather an auspicious action, an auspicious act. That is, by engaging in a particular action, that itself is something that would bring about benefit. And just by describing that, I guess you already know. You already know what these actions could be. So any actions connected with with an understanding of the true nature of reality, any actions connected with a sincere compassion, sincere love, these are auspicious actions. They themselves, and what is auspicious? Auspiciousness, that it's like it will definitely bring about something that it will be of benefit to others. It will be something that will bring about a sincere or clear or clean happiness. Okay, not just to you, but to others also. And of course, he give examples that, you know, like showing gratitude to people who've been who've helped you, being loving and compassionate to your parents and things like that. So I don't have to go into those kinds of details because you're not little babies where I have to tell you those kinds of things, but more into the mechanics of it. Okay. So how do you know, apart from, so there are these things that we do that are setting up auspicious conditions, right? They're auspicious actions. Now, after you've, when you're not engaging in well, you're always engaging in action, but when you're minding your business and all of a sudden some sign shows up, how can you interpret that to be an auspicious sign? Okay. I think that's one of the things that that you would like to know. And usually, well, I have to, not usually, but I hear that said a lot by different teachers, different lamas. Oh, that's auspicious. That's auspicious. But I have to say, there is not necessarily a menu, not a menu, a catalog that gives you, okay, these are the list of things that are considered to be, okay, when this happens, this is an auspicious sign. But rather, we come to be able to say, oh, that was auspicious, but rather than that is auspicious. Okay. It's more of to be able to say that is auspicious, it's more of instinct. It's more of an instinct. It's more of a sense of connection to whatever it is happening. The sky all of a sudden appears a certain way and, oh, that's auspicious. But does it mean that whenever the sky appears that a certain way, that means it's auspicious? Auspicious meaning what? That what is for whom? Or this is auspicious for the planet. A comet is passing by, and or that's an auspicious sign because it happens on this day. But it's exactly what makes something auspicious. I mean, there is within, I think, Vedic astrology, Tibetan astrology, and I think those kinds of things where they say, oh, that's, especially within the Tibetan calendar, you have auspicious days and you have non-auspicious days. You have days that are supposed to be bad luck days. You're not supposed to do anything. And you have good luck days, auspicious days, days that are basically meaning the positive energies are in such an arrangement that it will lead to good outcomes. Okay. Now, exactly, I have to say I have no knowledge of astrology whatsoever. I only know that they say I'm Capricorn. I have no idea what that means. I'm supposed to have some rising and some other kinds of things. I have no idea. And I'm not saying that it's worth or it's not worth anything, but no, I'm just saying that within the Tibetan astrology, they do have such thing as auspicious days. And we do have, throughout the year, there are certain days that are considered to be auspicious days to do some specific things. Auspicious day to do a certain kind of puja for protection. Auspicious day to do kind of a puja, to do kind of ceremony to do purification, and things like that. And exactly how they choose those days, I'm sure they have some sort of system that tells them, okay, that's a good day, that's a bad day. I'm not sure if it's mathematical, if it's okay, 3 days after the full moon, it's auspicious and things like that. But the main thing is, even though the calendar may say today's an auspicious day, I'm sure there are some people who said that was the worst day of my life. So for whom was it auspicious? Okay. So that tells you that these signs are not necessarily coming from outside. It's not necessarily the planets, it's not necessarily the stars that are determining whether it is the day for auspiciousness or not. Even though astrology seems to make that claim. So I'll do the middle ground just to be a nice diplomat. I'm not gonna say it is not that way. I'm not gonna affirm it. But what I'm gonna say is that what we bring determines it, play a big part. Okay. Yes, maybe planet Jupiter gives people supposedly has great auspiciousness when it's 45 degrees north of, I'm going to say something that's just completely nonsense because I have no idea what I'm saying. But it sounds something that an astrologer would say. Because Jupiter is 45 degrees north of Capricorn. I don't know if that's possible or not, but something like that. That's an auspicious sign. Well, let's say, generally speaking, that is an auspicious sign. But if I do not bring the capacity to experience auspiciousness, then that's not auspicious for me. So there has to be something that I bring, if that is true, for that auspiciousness to be auspicious for me. Okay. So that's where you could say the most important thing is creating auspicious conditions, engaging in auspicious actions. That is, act from a place of understanding, act from a place of compassion, act from a place of love, and these create conditions. There is actually a teacher who said something like this. He said, collecting a store of good luck. Okay. And probably some of you have experienced that. For me, for example, I have a store of bad luck. So I tell you, you can store luck. Unfortunately for me, it's a lot of bad luck. Okay. And you can, I'm going to give you an example of that. And you can say, oh, yes, that's true, because maybe you've experienced the opposite. Okay. It's not like, sky falling kind of thing. Like when I'm in a hurry, okay, don't say I'm giving an excuse, justification for being tardy. Okay. I'm not making an excuse. I'm not saying, see, it's not my fault. It's the universe, it's the astrology.
Oh, please.
Well, whenever I am in a hurry to get somewhere, even I deliberately try to be there on early. Like as soon as I arrive at the train platform, that's when the train left. Okay. So you can say I have a store of collected the conditions for this is the kind of luck that I find myself experiencing. And you can imagine someone who says the opposite. I'm late. I'm gonna be late. And as soon as I get to the train station, the train is right there, the door is open for me. So you could say that person has collected a store of good luck. Okay. And this is how I sort of interpret what this teacher said about amassing good luck. And it is also, so having a store or a storage of good luck or storage of bad luck doesn't necessarily mean that you are an evil person or you are a good person. You could be a criminal. Your mind is to, do criminal activities, whether it's to harm people's property or whatever, and you may have a store of good luck. Somehow you get away with things. And that's somehow connects back to the problem of one of the things that we say about the problem of evil. How is it that a criminal is having such good luck, and someone who's working hard, who's a good person, is compassionate, and having such bad luck? Okay. Well, this person who's a criminal happens to have a store of good luck. Now, what we have to remember is that it's not his criminal activity that is creating the store of good luck. Okay, he was born with it, you could say, and being born with it doesn't, and however you want to take it, whether you want to say it's the energetic inheritance from his parents, that's why he has good luck, or you can say it's from his previous life that he collected that. So some prior to that person being that person, some priority to that person being that person, the conditions for that person to have such luck is present. Okay. So that person who is able to successfully fulfill his criminal activities, you could say that person is wasting that person's their good luck, their store of good luck. And the store of good luck comes from some virtue, not the virtue that the criminal is necessarily doing in that life, but it's connected to some other virtue. Okay, some other being, whether it's his previous life or whether it's his parents, but some other, it's connected to some virtue, some action that was done in alignment with compassion, with love, with anything connected to the true nature of reality, anything that uplifts, brings more awareness to the true nature of reality, okay? That's where these good lucks come from, okay? Or this auspiciousness come from. One of the understanding about auspiciousness is a sense of chance, a sense of like luck. When I use the word luck, it has a sense of something that happens. What's that term? Without any predetermined agency. Okay. Seems to happen randomly. That's the term I was looking for. Seem to happen randomly, like almost as if coming out of thin air, so to speak. There's a sense of auspiciousness having that quality, and there's a sense of auspiciousness. Even we expect that from to be a quality of auspiciousness, a sense of coming from nowhere, so to speak, coming out of nothing. So the thing to take from the Buddhists present acceptance of auspiciousness is that it does not come from nothing, and it doesn't necessarily come from the immediate action that preceded it, but rather it is connected to relating with yourself, relating with the world, while in alignment in some way that promotes the true nature of reality. Okay. And what are the things that promotes the true nature of reality? Things like, I am upset, and I acknowledge that I am upset, and I'm not hiding to myself that I'm upset. I may be upset for the completely wrong reasons, but at the moment that I'm upset, I know that I'm upset, and I'm not hiding from it. I'm not covering it up with something else. Okay, that is in something that promotes truth, promotes being in alignment with the true nature of reality. I'm not saying being upset promotes it, but I'm talking about acknowledging that's what's happening, not hiding it, being honest with it. This kind of honesty that promotes the true, being in alignment with the true nature of reality. And these things sets the condition for one day, while you are minding your business, something happens, and then it's an auspiciousness. That means it's like, let me put it this way that it will sound a bit crazy, but it's nice. Angels come to announce something wonderful is about to happen. It's like the angels coming to announce something wonderful is about to happen is part of that wonderful thing supposed to happen. It is, in a way, in the olden days when a king is a king, a queen is entering into a space, part of the attribute of being a king or being a queen is that you have people announcing your arrival. Okay, so auspiciousness is like those heralds. Okay, there's like they're connected to that office. They're connected to that experience of that thing that is coming. Okay, and it's a way to also diminish the power of ego. Okay, even though sometimes we might take auspicious signs to boost ego, but its purpose is to diminish the power of ego, because ego obstructs, ego keeps what truly benefits you from, keeps you from engaging what truly benefits you, and keeps you and blocks the things that would truly benefit you, right? That's what it does. Ego, what is that? Engaging, relating to reality that is in a way opposing the true nature of reality. Okay, think of ego that way. So that process of ego affirming, that kind of thing, right? It obstructs. It doesn't want you to experience. I'm not talking about experiencing pleasure. I'm talking about experiencing true benefit. True benefit, because true benefit eventually destroys the ego. Okay, so when you're doing your practice, you have no realizations yet. The ego, you're at the danger of the ego saying, see, it doesn't work. See, nothing is happening. And because of that, you may eventually do the very thing that will destroy the practices that you've been doing. So you've been practicing, and there's all these gifts on their way for you to receive them. And the ego says, see, it doesn't work. See, it doesn't work. Nothing is happening. See, there's no gift. And then instead of staying in the place where the gifts would have arrived, you go somewhere else. You don't get the gifts. Okay. But when there are auspicious signs, like an herald telling you, hey, your gifts are arriving, a notification from the universe. Your gifts have been packaged. They are shipped. They are in the warehouse. They're in New Jersey. They're on their way. They will arrive to you. Okay, so those are like the auspicious signs that are destroying ego, telling ego, see, my practice is working. The signs that it's work, the auspicious experiences are signs that it's happening, that it's actually working. And the ego then has no recourse but to be diminished and to accept that. And then you strengthen yourself more you entrench yourself more into your practice. Okay. Like an auspicious sign would be you are doing, you've done something or many things that you regret, or you're experiencing something in life that you regret that you're experiencing, and you take responsibility for it. You say, I don't care if someone actually manhandled me and then put me into the situation. I'm responsible. Okay, you basically you take power over the condition, the situation. I'm totally responsible, and because I'm totally responsible for this experience that I'm having, or I completely regret what I have done, what I have said, and I want to bring about a change in this situation. And you do a practice called the purification practice. And as you're doing the purification practice, and you do this for over a period of time, you don't just do it once and then you wait, but you do it over a period of time. And after you're doing it for over a period of time, what is the ego doing? This thing is not working. I want you to stop it already. Come on, what are you doing? You just wasting your time imagining this stuff, playing with your mind. Come on, okay? It may not be as loud as that for some people, but for some people, it could be at that loud. Where in what way is it loud? You're constantly looking for the result. I said 5 mantras already, and I still feel the same. And while you're reciting the mantra, No change yet. No change yet. Okay. That's the ego. Okay. Well, eventually, if despite the ego being present, you continue to do your practice. You continue to do your practice. As an auspiciousness of an auspiciousness that the purification is working, you have dreams. Your dreams are affected. You have specific kind of dreams. You either dream that you are taking a shower, you're washing yourself. You either have a dream where you're swimming in a very clean water. You have a dream where you're encountering people that you consider to be very holy, that you have high respect of. You dream of the Dalai Lama. You see yourself attending a teaching of the Dalai Lama. You see yourself meeting an angel. These are not themselves the result, the ultimate result of doing the purification practice, but rather they are auspicious signs that tells you, A, you're doing a good job, and what you are looking for is on its way. So continue to do what you're doing. Okay. And sometimes you're asked to continue to do your practice until certain auspicious signs arise before you make any changes. Okay. And I'm going to give very, things which because I can't really tell you what specific things are auspicious signs for this or that. Okay. But I can give you certain examples, but very high examples, like when you are, there's a practice that you do it's a rainbow body practice, okay? One of the auspicious signs is that you start seeing rainbows everywhere, okay? To the point where you might even see rainbows when other people don't see it, okay? But it's stark there for you to see, okay? That will be an auspicious sign that about your practice, all right? Another auspicious, what we call auspicious sign I can point to is when you are, okay, this may not seem as an auspicious sign, by the way, but it's something that a lot of practitioners experience or will experience, especially when you're devoting yourself to it. And this is something that is, you could say, with anything that you devote yourself to. Okay, whenever you take some particular thing as in a very serious way. Okay, one of the auspicious signs is that the people in your life who would hold you back, you begin to naturally lose connection with them. And sometimes it may happen in a conscious way where it is impossible for you to be with those kinds of people anymore. It's just, it has become meaningless for you to keep company with them. It's not that you're hating them. It's not that you're losing love for them. As a matter of fact, you might even have more love for them, more compassion for them. But for some reason, you're aligning with something, you're in alignment with something else that they are not in alignment with. And when you are in their presence, you feel uncomfortable in a psychic way. You feel uncomfortable. And it could be very sad, especially if these are people that you've had in your life for a very long time, but they're not growing with you. And if you want to continue, and I'm not saying this if you want to continue, you have to consider that there are let's just say many, and I was going to say uncountable. There are many people waiting for you on the other side of your transformation who are actually dependent on your transformation for their welfare. So if you, at this moment, when you're experiencing these feelings, it's uncomfortable to be in those company now, that's an auspicious sign that you're transforming. Okay. And if you have to leave those company behind, you have to leave them behind. Not because you hate them, but because it's, let's say 10, 20 of them, and there are a million depending on you fulfilling your spiritual aim, who are dependent on you fulfilling your dependent aim, your spiritual aim, because that's what will help them grow in whatever way they need to grow. And perhaps eventually, by you leaving them, and maybe they will experience a discomfort because of your absence, it might make them attune to you rather than force you to attune to them, to what you're trying to leave behind. Okay? So this kind of experience of having to part, I'm not talking about, that big part, they're still around, but you have to disconnect with certain people, and you feel that in your gut, and you're fighting with it because it seems to disconnect from someone is anti-compassion, is anti-love, and you might be in conflict, okay, because of that experience. So that experience is an auspicious sign that your practice is becoming more powerful. And at this point in your life, the energy that these people, that company has, degrades you, degrades your, I don't want to make it sound like, higher than you kind of thing, but, it doesn't agree with the energy that you are developing. Okay, let's say that. Okay, doesn't agree with the energy that you're developing, and it doesn't allow you to grow in the energy that you're trying to grow into. Okay, so for their sake, also, you have to leave them. And especially for the sake of those who are waiting, dependent on you fulfilling your spiritual aim, for their sake. And there are millions of them. Okay, you are delaying them. You're delaying them receiving that benefit that you were supposed to bring to them. Okay. All right. So, so this is kind of a hardcore, kind of auspicious thing. So when you're doing your practice, your dreams will give you auspicious signs. Hey, good work. You will be visited. Yes, in your dreams, you will not just have dreams, but you will have visitations, and you will just know that it wasn't just a dream, that it was an actual visitation. You will be given some sort of instruction, some sort of information that is very relevant to you. That's a visitation. Okay. And that itself is auspicious. Since auspiciousness has to do with definitely wonderful things coming, so there's no such thing as a bad auspiciousness. Thank goodness. Bad has a monopoly already, so we don't need to give it. It has. You have bad. You have good this, a bad that. You have a good this, you have a bad that. So please leave auspiciousness alone. And synchronicity. I hope the way I described it, will help. And when you start to witness synchronicity, rejoice and let that be an encouragement for you. Yes, you're doing what is beneficial to you, and continue to do it. Okay. All right. I think this is where I end, and the floor